What's going on, guys?
Today we are on SOCIALeyes.
Welcome to SOCIALeyes.
The black couch.
Chilling on the black couch.
Guys, remember, if you don't know any of this, you have to rewind.
Make sure you guys go back. We are on chapter number 16 now.
Yeah.
We're on chapter
And
number
guess
16.
what?
So if you haven't seen chapter number 16 yet, make sure you go back and watch all those chapters. But we are reading the book called
Christmas. And guess what?
A Boy Called Christmas. Not just called Christmas. And it's an international bestseller
by Matt Haig.
Matt Haig. Got to give shout out to Matt Haig for writing such an amazing book. So far so good. What do you think about this book so far? It's amazing. I mean, I cannot wait to watch the show coming out on Netflix.
Guys, before we read,
we got a special guest.
Yes, like the last time.
We got a special guest. And this guest is going to come and hang out with us. She loves reading. She's an avid reader. She loves reading books, and I think she'll love reading a chapter with us. So why don't we give a warm welcome to Karee Dushan. Come and hang out with us, Karee. Welcome to the show, Karee.
Hi.
We are reading A Boy Called Christmas.
Ooh, okay.
And we're starting up right away. So we're going to get to chapter number 16. It is called An Unpleasant Encounter.
Oh, no.
And we're going to give you the honors to start.
Okay.
There you go.
Right. Just jumping into it. Ah, Father Vodal, said Father Topo. What a wonderful Christmas party. It is very good that you, as leader of the Elf Council, have made it so... Never mind Christmas, interrupted Father Vodal. The hall fell into total silence. And then Father Vodal spoke again, quite menace. Father Topo, I need to speak with you and the human in the council room now. The council room? The elf raised his staff and pointed towards the stairs. Now, Father Topo, no delay. Quick as a reindeer.
High five! All right.
Okay.
Father Topo nodded. He turned and told little Noosh to wait there and beckoned for Nicholas to follow. Nicholas did as he was told, but felt a little ridiculous at having to duck as he climbed up the stairs at the back of the hall, up to a floor with a very low ceiling, with even lower timber beams. Nicholas followed the elves past two others in black clothes. These were male elves, but had no beards. They were guarding a door that said council room. Then Nicholas found himself in a room that he was a bit too tall for. There was a long table with 20 chairs around it. Each of the chairs had a name engraved into it. Shut the door, said Father Vodal. Before addressing Father Topo, were you not at the last meeting, Father Topo? He asked, pointing to the chair with Father Topo's name engraved on it. Yes, I was. So you will know about the new rules for the elves. No humans must be brought here. Well, I didn't bring him here. I found him. Him and his collapsed reindeer. A whisker from death. So I, as Father Topo began, nervous, Father Vodal stared intently at the elf's claws. Within a second, the white-haired elf was off his feet, floating in the air.
Oh no, Karee.
So you what? Asked Father Vodal. Nicholas noticed Father Topo was now gasping for air. Even though Father Vodal was nowhere near him, Father Topo had tipped upside down and was now rising towards the ceiling with nothing holding on to him. Biscuits fell out of his pocket. His mustache drooped beside his nose.
High five.
Oh my goodness. It's scary.
Please, Nicholas said it. It's not his fault. He was only trying to... And then Nicholas stopped speaking because his mouth was closed shut. He couldn't move his lips or his jaw. Father Vodal might have been short, but his magic was strong. I did a hoop spell, spluttered Father Topo. Father Vodal Brown ran demanded with anger. A Drimwick on a human?
Ooh, a Drimwick. There's that word again.
The upside down elf.
What was a Drimwick?
It's a hope spell.
That's right. Hope spell. Go on.
A Drimwick on a human? The upside down elf nodded. Yes, Father Vodal. I'm sorry, but it was the only way I could save him. And Drimwick only works on good, so I thought it safe. And I was with little Noosh. What kind of an example would it have to set if I had let him die right there in front of her? Father Vodal quivered with rage. Do you know what that means? Do you know what you have given the human gifts? He should not have taken it. You have told little Noosh what happened to little Kip. Nicholas tried to speak, but his jaw was still locked, and his tongue lay still as a dead fish inside his mouth.
High five! Oh my God. No! I don't want to scare her. I want her to believe the best in people, even human people. She sees the good in. Father Vodal's skin above his beard grew redder and redder, like a sun setting over a thorn bush. Furniture shook, as though the whole room was sharing Father Vodal's fury. Our powers are not for humans. Please, begged Father Topol, let us remember how things used to be before we are elves. We use our powers for good. You remember? When your newspaper was full of only good. Oh, that's right. Of only good news. Karee wants everybody to see what Father Vodal looks like. Here is a picture of Father Vodal. We forgot to show. There he is. He definitely looks like he is serious.
They have long arms.
Long.
They reach the ground.
He's skinny, but look at those fingers and arms. They could touch the ground.
It's not proportionate at all.
Goodness. Oh. We use our powers for good. You remember when your newspaper was full of only good news? Father Vodal laughed. It's true. The Daily Snow used to be full of good news. But good news doesn't sell newspapers. High five!
But good is good, Father Vodal nodded. I do not disagree, Father Topol. We must indeed use our powers for good, which is why we must send a clear message that no outsiders are allowed here anymore. We must have strength of purpose and unity. It's luck for our community that nobody here has a stronger will than the holder of the staff, which is me. I was elected, in a democratic fashion, to rule Elfenhelm as I see fit. Father Topol, still struggling in the air, gasped. In fairness, Father Vodal, it did help you that you owned the Daily Snow and had the newspaper to support your election. Get out, said Father Vodal. As though by force of will, Father Vodal threw poor old Father Topol right out the window. Nicholas heard a splash and ran to see the elf had landed in the lake beside the building. He tried to shout to see if his new friend was okay, but his mouth was still firmly locked. Now, human, tell me why you came here, said Father Vodal. Nicholas turned back towards the furious black-bearded elf. He felt his jaw warm and soften and unlock. His tongue came to life again. I wanted to go to the far north. I wanted to find... What? Father Vodal put a hand in his pocket and pulled out a mouse. This mouse?
Oh, it's Mika. It's Mika.
Who's Mika?
Mika's the mouse.
Mika's the mouse?
Yeah.
Mika looked at Nicholas, terrified. Mika, are you okay? Don't worry, mice are welcome here. Mice have never done us any harm. Father Vodal gave a small squeal of pain. Mika had bit him. Then he jumped out of Father Vodal's hand and scurried over to Nicholas. Nicholas picked Mika up and put him safely in his pocket. So, you have what you came for. Now go. Get out of my sight. No, not totally. I set out to find my father, Nicholas said. The elf's eyes widened. So why did you think he was here? He said darkly. Because he was going to the far north. He always told me you were real. Elves, I mean. And he believed in you. And I tried to believe in you too. Anyway, he was heading here with some others to find proof that you exist. Nicholas heard his own voice crack. He could crumble, just like gingerbread. But I don't know if he ever made it here. Bye-bye.
The elf stroked his beard. Interesting. His voice was softer now. He broke off a corner of the roof on the gingerbread house that was in the middle of the table and ate a bit of it. He came closer. He even gave a curious smile. Describe your father. What does he look like? He is tall, nearly twice as tall as me, and he is strong because he is a woodcutter. And he has colorful clothes that are a bit tatty, and a sleigh with an axe, and Father Bodo's eyes widened. Tell me, out of curiosity, how many fingers does your father have? 9.5, answered Nicholas. Father Bodo smiled. Have you seen him? Is he still alive? Asked Nicholas desperately. Father Bodo raised the hand holding the staff. Nicholas saw the table rise off the ground, along with chairs, only to slam down and break through the floor, falling into the dining hall below. There were elves still eating their Christmas feast. The table and chair narrowly missed hitting anyone and smashed onto the floor below. All the elves gasped and could see Nicholas and Father Bodo, who were still now raising his voice all to hear, still standing in the council room.
High five.
Ooh. So let me get this straight. Your father is Joel the woodcutter.
Nice.
Oh my goodness, what does that mean?
So he must have been through the town. And they had Mika. Can't believe this. Nicholas had nothing but the truth. Yes. The elves downstairs gasped again, only louder, and all started talking. His father is Joel the woodcutter. His father is Joel the woodcutter. His father is Joel the woodcutter. For a moment, Nicholas forgot whatever trouble he might be in. My father made it here. He actually made it to the far north, to Elfhelm. Did you meet him? Is he still here? Father Volda walked around the hole he had made in the floor and came close enough for Nicholas to smell the licorice on his breath.
The licorice.
And to see a long, thin scar beneath his beard. Oh, he came here all right. He was one of them. What do you mean, one of them? What did you do to him? Father Vodal inhaled deeply. He closed his eyes. His forehead bubbled and rippled like water in the wind. And then he did one of his favorite things. He did a big speech. And this is how it went. Oh, I did something, he said. I trusted him. That was my greatest mistake as a leader. The Elf Council. I listened to the goodwill of the elves who lived here. But I kind of knew all along that goodwill is just another name for weakness. And goodwill comes from happiness. So I have tried very hard these last few weeks to increase unhappiness. Unhappiness is severely underrated, especially with elves. For 1,000 years, elves had been happy and joyful. They made gifts for visitors who never came here. They even built a welcome tower. What fools have been! And every Tuesday, whoever was leader of the council would sit down and talk about welcoming strategies. There was no one to welcome. The pause for a moment pointed to one of several elf portraits on the wall, a painting of an elf with a large golden bun of hair on top of her head and a very large and kind smile. Mother Ivy, he said. She was the leader of the elf council before me. She'd been leader for 107 years. Her slogan was joy and goodwill for all. It disgusted me, and not just me. Increasingly, over the years, elves began to realize it was wrong to live for other people. So I put myself forward for election. Elves for elves. That was my motto, and I got in. Easy peasy. Mother Ivy wished me well, of course, and gave me a fruitcake and made me some fleece stockings. I gave her a role as forest troll peace envoy, and she was eaten within a week. They ate all of her except her left foot because of some pretty bad bunions. With hindsight, I think she was probably the wrong person for the job. Bit too friendly.
High five. He sighed a long sigh as he gazed up at the portrait. Poor Mother Ivy. But the trouble is, she didn't understand that other creatures are not like us. You see, in their heart, elves know that they are the best of all species. They just needed someone to stand up and tell them. But I couldn't go the whole hog, not until little Kip was kidnapped. After that, I changed things, and I changed them quickly. I instantly tried to make elves more miserable, for their own good. I made them wear different colored tunics and sit at separate tables. I banned spickle dancing, lowered the minimum wage to 3 chocolate coins a week, and stopped the unsupervised use of spinning tops. That's so mean.
Ridiculous.
I spent every day trying to find the scariest headlines for my newspaper, the Daily Snow. I even changed Mother Ivy's slogan to Tough on Goodwill, tough on the causes of goodwill. I was proud of that. He glared at Nicholas as his smile curled like a cat's tail. And the very first thing I did was to ban outsiders and to change the Welcome Tower into a prison.
Ooh.
Guards, he shouted, take the human to the tower.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
What a good chapter. That was
And
the longest
there's a picture
chapter.
as well on the tree.
That was
The slogan.
officially the longest chapter we have read in this
It
book.
says
Really?
tough and goodwill. Tough on causes of goodwill.
Amazing.
And there's something here.
Okay, Karee, read the rules for prisoners.
Rules for prisoners. Stay locked until you die. Try not to kill each other, but don't worry about it. That's it.
Wow.
What? So, wow, what an amazing chapter. Oh my God, that was like 100 pages long. Can you believe it? We learned so much in that chapter.
Oh, no.
We learned so much. What do you think about that chapter? What was...
I thought they were going to get along
Yeah? Why did you think they were going to get along?
because he was like, huh? He like had a he was like he had some curiosity.
He had some curiosity. You talking about Father Vodal?
Yeah.
Or are you talking who are you talking about?
Father
Topol?
Rodel.
Father Vodal. Do you think he was curious? I thought he was very powerful. Power hungry, powerful. He kind of was like, forgot really how elves are supposed to be, and he just wanted to be the boss.
Yeah.
Bossy, very bossy.
He's selfish.
Selfish.
Sounds like a dictator.
Almost like a dictator. Even though they talk about a democracy, I don't
Yeah.
think it's much of a democracy.
Yeah.
I think he's been drinking a little bit too much licorice.
Too much licorice. Oh my gosh.
Too much licorice on his breath.
Oh no, it's licorice.
Yeah.
Licorice is not good.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
A little too much licorice on
Yucky.
his breath.
Yep.
What a great chapter. Thank you, Karis, for hanging out
Yeah.
and reading A Boy Called Christmas with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. We will see you guys in the next chapter.